Welcome to our channel, where we bring you the latest and most pressing global news. Today, we delve into a significant maritime incident that has captured the world's attention. The United States and the Philippines have joined forces to intercept a colossal Chinese vessel. Famously dubbed the monster ship, anchored within Manila's exclusive economic zone. Stay tuned as we unravel the details of this high-stakes encounter and explore its far-reaching implications. On a seemingly ordinary day in the South China Sea, an extraordinary event unfolded. A Chinese vessel of unprecedented size and capacity, referred to as the monster ship, was found anchored within the Philippines' exclusive economic zone. The presence of this ship, coupled with its strategic location, immediately raised alarm bells in Manila and beyond. This region has long been a hotspot for territorial claims, with multiple nations, including China, the Philippines, Vietnam, and others, vying for control over its resource-rich waters. The United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea, or UNCLOS, plays a pivotal role in defining the rights and responsibilities of these nations, particularly concerning their exclusive economic zones. The interception of the monster ship was a coordinated effort between the United States and the Philippines. U.S. naval forces provided critical support, showcasing the strength of the military alliance between the two nations. The operation aimed not only to assert the Philippines' territorial rights, but also to send a clear message to China regarding international maritime law and sovereignty. China has anchored its largest Coast Guard vessel in the South China Sea. The 165-meter monster ship is in Manila's exclusive economic zone in the South China Sea. The development came just days before Japan and the Philippines signed a deal to boost defense ties. The China Coast Guard vessel is anchored near Sabina Shoal in the Spratly Islands. The ship is 541 feet long and has a displacement of 12,000 tons. The China Coast Guard is thrice the size of U.S. Coast Guard vessels. It is said to be bigger than any regular Coast Guard ship in the world, bearing a specialty U.S. Coast Guard icebreaker, and even larger than some U.S. Navy destroyers. The China Coast Guard even has more firepower than its U.S. counterparts. It has two main 76.2mm guns compared to just one main 57mm gun on the U.S. vessels. The Philippine Coast Guard said the vessel, which entered the 200 nautical mile area on July 2, is meant to intimidate its smaller neighbor. PCG spokesperson for territorial said that the Chinese vessel was warned that it was in the Philippines' seas and asked about their intentions. The Chinese ship, which has also deployed a small boat, was anchored 800 yards away from the PCG's vessel, territorial said. The China Coast Guard is 5 times bigger than the PCG's ship. It's an intimidation on the part of the China Coast Guard, territorial said. We're not going to pull out and we're not going to be intimidated. China's embassy in Manila and the Chinese Foreign Ministry did not immediately respond to a request for comment. China's Coast Guard has no publicly available contact information. Ray Powell, a South China Sea expert and director of Sea Light at the Gordian Knot Center for National Security Innovation at Stanford University, told CNN that the monster has been roaming the seas since a clash near 2nd Thomas Shoal in June. The Philippines has soldiers living aboard a rusty, aging warship at the 2nd Thomas Shoal, which was deliberately grounded by Manila in 1999 to reinforce its maritime claims. Immediately following the dramatic standoff at 2nd Thomas Shoal, the monster toured nearly every Philippine outpost and key feature in the South China Sea. Powell said, its massive size enables it to intimidate its neighbors while avoiding the escalatory implications of sending a gray-hulled military vessel. Powell added, it is not really intended to carry out traditional Coast Guard missions, but is primarily used as a central element in China's paramilitary maritime force. Powell said of the monster, because China claims most of the South China Sea, a key conduit for $3 trillion of annual shipborne trade, as its own territory. This includes several islands and sandbars hundreds of kilometers from mainland China. This has led to tensions between Beijing and several other governments that have made competing claims, including Manila. Beijing rejects the 2016 ruling by the Hague-based Permanent Court of Arbitration, which said its expansive maritime claims had no legal basis. This isn't the first time Beijing has displayed such aggression. China has carried out extensive land reclamation on some islands in the South China Sea, building air force and other military facilities, causing concern in Washington and around the region. On Monday, the Philippines and Japan boosted their defense ties by signing a reciprocal access agreement on Monday, saying they were seeking stability in the region amid rising tensions with China. Japanese Foreign Minister Yoko Kamikawa described the pact, which eases the entry of equipment and troops for combat training and disaster response, as a landmark achievement. The deal is the first of its kind to be signed by Japan in Asia and coincides with a rise in assertive actions Chinese vessels in the disputed South China Sea. This is another milestone in our shared endeavor to ensure a rules-based international order, Philippine Defense Minister Gilberto Teodoro told reporters after the signing. Both the Philippines and Japan have taken a strong line against what they see as an increasingly assertive China in the South China Sea. Japan, which last year announced its biggest military buildup since World War II and a step away from its post-war pacifism, does not have any claims to the South China Sea, but has a separate maritime dispute. Japan should seriously reflect on its history of aggression and be cautious in words and deeds in the field of military security. The Philippines has a visiting forces agreement with the United States and Australia. Tokyo, which hosts the biggest concentration of U.S. forces abroad, has similar RAA deals with Australia and Britain, and is negotiating another with France. The diplomatic fallout was swift and intense. Beijing condemned the interception, labeling it a provocative act and a violation of its sovereignty. In contrast, the Philippines and the United States defended their actions, emphasizing the importance of upholding international law and protecting territorial integrity. As the world watches the unfolding drama in the South China Sea, one thing is clear: the stakes are incredibly high. The interception of the Chinese monster ship by the United States and the Philippines is a testament to the complexities and challenges of maintaining peace and stability in this critical maritime region. Thank you for joining us. Be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more in-depth analysis and coverage of global events.